Good evening, everyone, and welcome to RTL News Tonight, which is our alternative newscast for Parker Jackson Live. But don't be sad, Parker and his show will be returning next Sunday on RTL. I am Grady Catalano in for Parker. We start off tonight with the United Kingdom, where the airline Flybe cancels all their flights and hundreds of people that work for this company will be out of a job. After a surprising bankruptcy in the company, Sky News has given us the latest details for the ongoing situation. Let's see what they got.
Meanwhile, Sky News understands more than 270 people have been made redundant after the British airline Flybe ceased trading, with all flights now cancelled. The company operated scheduled services from Belfast, Birmingham and Heathrow, including flights to Amsterdam and Geneva. And Sky News understands that 277 of Flybe's staff have been made redundant. The airline had 530 flights running per week after returning to operations in April of 2022. Now, those flights were across 23 routes serving airports in the UK, including Belfast City, Birmingham, East Midlands and Leeds Bradford. Now, Sky's business correspondent Paul Kelso has all the latest on this from Birmingham Airport.
Well, Flybe, we should say, is a much smaller business than when it went into administration last in March 2020, on the eve of the pandemic reaching the UK. It was an employer with 2,500 staff, crucial to regional connectivity in the UK. It went bust, it failed, it was bought out of administration, and a much, much smaller airline began operating under the same brand in April last year. You can see one of the planes on the tarmac here at Birmingham. They're not flying anymore. All flights cancelled with immediate effect, and no prospect of them getting back in the air. 277 staff made redundant, as you said. 2,500 passengers were expected to travel today. They're not going anywhere. And around 75,000 people had forward bookings, I understand. There'll be no refunds from the airline itself. It's run out of money. That's why the planes are on the ground. People have to go to credit card and debit card operators or tour operators to try and get a refund. There's about 300 people, the administrators estimate, have been displaced. That is, they've taken one leg and they have a return booking they can't take today. The Civil Aviation Authority are working with the administrators and the CAA will, they say, get those people home comfortably. Around 300 staff in this much smaller business. It was bought by a US hedge fund, Cyrus Capital, effectively the brand and leases to some of these aircraft. These planes are all leased, they're not owned outright. The Cyrus Capital have sunk around £50 million trying to keep the business in the air, but ultimately an airline based on regional connectivity, and this is a really big route, an important route between Belfast and the mainland UK. Around 100 of these staff who've made redundant work in Belfast, so this is a really big deal.
And thank you, Sky News, for the story. Also, this evening, 25 defendants are going to be facing 20 years in prison after they were arrested and charged for a fraudulent nursing diploma scheme. RTL's general assignment correspondent Brad Johnson joins us in the studio. Thanks for coming, Brad.
Thanks, Grady, for having me. 25 people are charged and arrested for fraudulent nursing diplomas and a scheme that erodes from public trust in southern Florida. Apparently, there has been more than 7,600 fraudulent diplomas were alleged issued by 3 nursing schools in southern Florida. The U.S. Department of Justice just announced the arrest of 25 individuals in statement on Wednesday, as well as various wire fraud charges for a scheme, quote, that created illegal licensing and employment shortcut for aspiring nurses, end quote. According to the DOJ's news release, the defendants are accused of selling fraudulent nursing degrees and transcripts for accrediting Florida schools, Scene College, and Scared Heart International Institutions in Broward County, and Palm Beach School of Nursing in Palm Beach County. Charges related to College include Stanton, Witherspoon, Burlington County, New Jersey, and so forth. These victims will be charged with fraudulence and other charges. More will be coming up later as we get more updates from the state. Back to you, Grady.
Thank you, Bat, for the report. When we come back, we will be providing a story about the new heat bills in the United States that have increased by 300%. I have said previously that this percentage is 3 times the rate for natural gas. All that and more on RTL News Tonight.